What is up, guys? Pie Muffin here, and we are back with some more Tales of Arise news, I guess, in a way. So, I missed this. This came out about, 10 hours ago, so I was still sleeping when this came out, but make sure you follow it. By the way, this news comes from Tails Antenna on Twitter. Make sure you go ahead and follow them. They always cover all the news that comes out with, Tails games, Crestoria, Rays, Zestiria, all the stuff. They do a great job over there. But in a post they made, apparently, Mr. Tomizawa, producer for Tales of Arise, made a statement about this. And this is something that people have been talking about ever since the first kind of leaks and trailers came out. I mean, even in this image right here, at first glance, people were like, oh, is that Lila? Is this a sequel to Zestiria? And is this there were people who thought this might be the new Shepherd. I could tell by his design that he was not. But, relatively speaking, it could have been believable that would have been Lila just from this back shot. We didn't have a face shot of her yet. But it has finally been put to rest, and I'm sure you'll see by the title, that Tales of Arise is not connected to Berseria and Zestiria. It's not the same world. Nothing about it is connected. And it's also not connected. They're basically saying it's a completely original story, unrelated to it. When they say this is obviously auto kind of translate, so the spelling the words will kind of be weird. So it's going to be unrelated to previous Tales games. It's not going to have any connection to any of the games. The only connection we may get is, when you get to the post game and we get the EX dungeon and all that stuff, maybe there will be a cameo battle like every Tales game. As ever since, I don't know what the first one was, but the first one I played that had a cameo battle, I think, was Vesperia. So I do expect we'll get one or two cameo characters for that, but that doesn't mean those characters are from this world. So it's going to be its own original story, no Berseria Zestiria lore. This isn't a third title to finish off a trilogy, which I'm honestly glad about, because it's I liked Zestiria and Berseria, but I kind of want a new story that doesn't have to rely on a storyline that's already been told. I feel like that's what kind of Berseria suffered from, and I feel like Berseria should have come out first, was that it had to basically exist in the shoes of Zestiria. It couldn't really veer off too much and do what it really wanted to, because it was a prequel, in a sense of speaking. But yeah, so about the story of Tales of latest series work, Tales of Arise, to be released in 2020. There are many voices that may be a story related to previous works. And the other thing people brought up was that, he pulls the sword, Alphen pulls the sword out of Gion's chest. People thought maybe that was a new form of armatization. Maybe instead of, the Seraph going inside the Shepherd, maybe you just get a weapon from them. So that was another thing I saw kind of floating around here and there that obviously is not the case. So yeah, it's not Tales of Berseria or Tales of Zestiria prequel sequel. It is a completely original story. And here is the post right here that Mr. Tomizawa, producer of Tales of Arise, made the above-mentioned comment on Tales of Communications. Tales of Arise is a work that anyone can easily get in on, so you don't have to have, if you are coming across this video and you have not played a Tales game before, this can be your first one. You don't need any prior knowledge. Like I said, though, they may make references. There may be skits. I remember in Berseria, they did make a reference to, Eisen's coin being of the Demon Lord Daus. So they may make references like that you may not get, but for the most part, you can just jump into this game and play it. Even with desire to deliver on many new users, new step in Tales of series, this offers a world view of Tales of characters. So this is weird, translations, because obviously this blog is in, how do I make it go back to normal? Show original. So as you can see, this is in Japanese. This isn't actually a, English post. But yeah, so completely unrelated. It's just gonna have its own story. Now, could we see a sequel to Arise in the future? We could, but it does seem like they kind of want to do these kind of singular kind of storylines that don't have to be connected. And if you are someone that kind of wants, oh, but, you know, I kind of want more lore on some of the older characters. You know, we got Tales of Crestoria coming out, which obviously, yes, it's a mobile game, and the amount of complaining I've been seeing of people, oh, Tales game, mobile game, it's like, okay. Anyways, that will obviously be a game that can expand more on the characters in a different kind of world setting, but this game will specifically be about whatever characters we see revealed in this world. No Zestiria, no Berseria, nothing prior to that. So I think that's good. I think it's like, especially since they're kind of going with a new generation type thing. You know, obviously Zestiria and Berseria were the last two titles to be released on a PS3, and the engine that they kind of used for it was still kind of a PS3 engine, even though the games came out on PS4 and Steam. So this is kind of a leap to a new era of Tales, so I think this is a good starting point to just start fresh, don't have any kind of connections to the previous games. Like I said, there can be references, you know, maybe they'll find like like I said, like they found a book in a past, they thought it was like Darius Carlon, I think, was mentioned in a book in Berseria. Like stuff like that would be funny little Easter eggs they can put in, but that doesn't actually mean that it exists in the same world. But anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think of this. Let me know if you are excited that this is going to be its own story. Are you upset that it's not Berseria Zestiria? Let me know down below. Like I said, I will keep you guys updated with any future news that comes out about Tales of Arise, as well as other Tales works like Crestoria and stuff like that. And like I said once before, follow Tales Antenna if you want to stay up to date with the news on your own. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. Don't forget to subscribe for more if you're new to the channel. I will see you all next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone.